Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, my question is, I think I know your stance already, but how do we explain law to people who don't know what law is? Like they just think Sharia is only Sharia, and if you do any other kind of law, it's either kufr or the person is a fasik or transgressor. So how do we explain, like, if someone is studying law in the Western society, that it's not like, he's not under those verses, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ or وَالْفَاسِقُونَ وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ. Like, how do we draw the line between if you're working in law, that you're not sinful, and then if you're doing law, that's where it's like the sin is there? Jazakallah khair.
First of all, we have to explain to them that not all laws are prohibited. So, man-made laws that do not go against the Sharia, such as traffic laws, such as laws governing how we garden our gardens and how to farm and how to do this. These are laws made by the authorities to govern people's lives and to facilitate a better life and more organized. Now, the laws that are haram, that contradicts and goes against Islam. So someone says, if a person murders another person, we have to throw him in jail. But this is not Allah's law. A murderer who murders another intentionally his fate has to be in the hands of the relatives of the victim. And they may decide execution, a soul for a soul, or blood money, or to forgive. But it's not for anyone else to say, no, we're not going to execute, we're not going to take blood money, we're just going to throw him in jail for 25 years. That's not permissible. And anyone who does this falls into the danger of committing kufr. Legislating laws that are contradictory to Islam, conflicting with Islam. If a person who legislates them thinks that they are superior than Islam or equal to Islam, he's a kafir on the spot, because of the verses you've mentioned in chapter 5, verse 44, 45, and 47. But if he thinks that, no, the superiority is to Islam and nothing is close to Islam, and these laws that I've legislated are far below, but because I need the raise, I need to be promoted to the Secretary of DOJ, for example, or this or that. Okay, he's doing it for the sake of dunya. Then he's not a kafir, but he's in great danger. And by this, inshallah, you may be able to explain things to them, and Allah knows best.
Shaykh, most of my classmates are part of the sect called Sunni. They go to Dargah by saying that those places are blessed as Makkah, and the dead people in the tomb are really close to Allah. They say that they are not worshipping the dead person in the tomb. They're saying that they bring to Allah by the highness, barakah, blessing of the dead person in the tomb. Shaykh, my question is it permissible to pray to Allah for something, to get something, by the barakah of the dead person in the tomb? Would that be shirk?
Going to dargahs, and dargahs are a cemetery or a shrine where the people have buried whom they think is a saint, whom they think is a righteous person. And this by itself is permissible, to bury someone in a cemetery. When this goes overboard and people start performing pilgrimage and visitations to that shrine, and they wipe the walls, and they offer sacrifices, and they light candles, and they supplicate, and maybe they offer fruits and food to the shrine, and they think that they're doing a good deed, this is a form of shirk. And if they claim that they don't believe in shirk, rather they're just simply asking Allah through the status and the importance of this saint to Allah Azza wa Jal. This is called tawassul, And this is an innovation. It's an innovation to ask Allah Azza wa Jal through the importance of Saint so-and-so. Oh Allah, I ask you through Hazrat Ali ibn Abi Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, that you cure my son. Oh Allah, I ask you through the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam to do this and that. This is not shirk. Rather, it's an innovation because no one has rights over Allah that we ask Allah through such rights, as Imam Ibn Taymiyyah has clearly stated, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best.